This fire's nice, wouldn't you agree? Now let's catch up on the Wynncraft news from the last week. There's quite a lot that happened, so take a seat and relax while we listen to the lo-fi remix of Forest Dance. If you enjoy this track, there will be a link down below to the song so you can listen to it yourself. So the first thing that happened this past week was about 6 hours after last week's news video was posted, Shaman was officially added to the hero beta with the archetypes of Summoner, Ritualist, and Acolyte. I'll go over the other changes to the hero beta later in the video so as not to spoil things for people who don't want spoilers, but with Shaman in the beta, we're currently very close to the full release of the 2.0 update. So, next up, the Twitch streamer MelonCraft has officially hit 1,000 followers over on Twitch. Be sure to go congratulate him the next time he is alive. Mini has now officially uploaded his first YouTube video, so we can now go to his streams and ask him when he'll post more videos every single time he's live. Olinus and Mini continue to work on getting us more lo-fi tracks to listen to. They've recently added a new track to the playlist, and Olinus has been uploading the individual songs to his channel. Next up, Stephen Plays MC has uploaded episode 2 of his cinematic Dungeon Master series. The quality is improving, and you can go leave some feedback so that you can help improve it further. The Twisted Ender has begun his own Dungeon Master series, but he needs y'all to go give him some feedback so he can make it the best he possibly can. Criminal uploaded the second episode of his Wynncraft Let's Play. I didn't mention his first episode last week, but I feel it is important to mention it this week as he has converted it into a co-op series with his friend Sesti, who uploaded his first episode this week. The two of them are quite entertaining to watch play together, so I recommend you check them both out. Cryflame had a goal of 200 subs that he recently managed to successfully hit. Originally I was going to tell y'all to go sub to him so that he could hit that, but I fell asleep in the middle of editing this video and he hit the goal before I woke up. And lastly, for Wynncraft creator news, Frigiduck has begun a quest items only series that he has dubbed his Quest Master Challenge. You should all go check out episode 1 right away and leave some positive feedback. Those of you who don't want spoilers for the current state of the 2.0 beta, stop watching here and have a wonderful day. For the rest of you, we will continue. Going through the patch notes from last Monday, for Mage, the ability Fortitude now requires at least 2 other Lightbender abilities to pick up, so you're unable to simply take this ability as a Riftwalker without investing a bit into the Lightbender first. Assassin got a few things changed. Stronger Vortex now requires you to deal 3.5 times your max health in a single hit to trigger rather than 4 times. Backstab's damage was increased from 200% neutral and 50% earth to 230% neutral and 70% earth. Multi-hit damage was increased from 25% to 30%. Weightless will now restore 0.7 mana per hit on an enemy whilst airborne rather than 0.5. Jasmine Bloom will now damage enemies every 0.3 seconds instead of every 0.4 seconds. But the vertical range of Jasmine Bloom was lowered, so it will only hit enemies up to 18 blocks beneath you rather than up to 24. And lastly, Warrior's War Scream damage resistance was raised from 10% to 20%. This brings it back in line with how it performs pre-2.0. Then, just yesterday, there was another patch to the beta with a lot more balance changes. There were a lot of bug fixes as well, but I will not be covering them since they were largely minor. For Mage, Lightweaver's damage was increased from 30% to 40%. For Warrior, Uppercut's range was buffed from 4.5 blocks to 5.5 blocks. Uppercut hit enemies in a cone in front of you, and that cone was changed to have a 50-degree angle instead of a 35-degree angle. This means the Uppercut will hit slightly further to the sides and above or below than before. Half Moon Swipe, which changed Uppercut to a foot sweep with a longer range, had its range increase reduced by 1 block. This doesn't actually do anything as Uppercut gained 1 block range already, but it means that the Uppercut buff didn't further boost this ability by proxy. While Corrupted, instead of casting War Scream again to end it, now you hold Shift and cast War Scream. This allows Fallen Warriors to recast War Scream for the buff that it gives without leaving Corrupted if they don't want to. Each shield from Mantle of the Bovemists will now protect you for 0.5 seconds instead of simply blocking a single hit. Before, if you got hit with Aerostorm or multi-hit, you would just lose all of your shields instantly, but now you'd be protected from all of those hits for half a second from just 1 shield. Massacre now has a 2-second cooldown and will add 4% to your Corrupted bar per main attack instead of 1%. This makes it a bit easier to fill the Corrupted bar without needing to spam your melee attack to do it. Flying Kick was changed to affect a cone in front of you rather than a sphere, thus making it slightly harder to hit enemies with it, but also easier to dodge enemies with it. And Flying Kick will also not trigger on enemies that are very close to you when you cast it, allowing you to use it to escape a bad situation more consistently. For Archer, Twain's Arc can now be cast midair. For Assassin, Lacerate's damage was increased from 50% to 60%. Blade Fury now also adds 10% thunder damage to multi-hit. Marked will now cause Smoke Bomb to add marks every 0.4 seconds instead of every 0.5 seconds, but the maximum number of marks was decreased from 5 to 4, and the damage bonus per mark was lowered from 10% to 8%. Better Mark's damage bonus per mark was lowered from 5% to 4%. Violent Vortex's range was increased from 6 blocks to 8 blocks. Backstab's damage was reverted back to what it was before the buff on Monday, going back down to 200% neutral and 50% earth. And Satsujin's damage bonus was reduced, so rather than making your next main attack or multi-hit deal triple damage, they will do 2.5 times damage. For Shaman, Hymn of Hate's bonus aura will not trigger additional auras, so you cannot have an infinite aura chain from one cast anymore. Hymn of Hate now does minus 50% damage instead of minus 70% damage. Bloodright now only requires 9 other abilities in Acolyte to unlock instead of 10. Blood Sorrow uses 60% of your blood pool instead of 70%, will now only last 4 seconds instead of 5. You will gain 3% bonus health instead of 2%, and the damage is increased from 50% neutral and 15% water to 70% neutral and 20% water. Puppet Master's damage was reduced from 10% to 5%. Shepherd's damage was increased from minus 5% to 0%. The max puppets were lowered from 10 to 8, and the duration was lowered from 20 seconds to 15 seconds. Regeneration will now heal 0.5% every 0.4 seconds instead of 1%. Mask of the Fanatic's mana reduction for Totem was lowered from minus 70% to minus 65%. Mask of the Coward's speed bonus was increased from 60% to 80%. Chant of the Coward's knockback was increased. Invigorating Wave's attack speed bonus was reduced from 100% to 50% of your summon's attack speed. And finally, Twisted Tether will now only apply its effect if the enemy hit isn't already tethered. There were a lot of balance changes this time in the beta, and it's looking like we'll have our hands on the full release very soon. Fingers crossed.